This past weekend, the E.J. King Cobras baseball team went head-to-head with the Canadian Academy of Kobe. One of the co-coaches of the squad said he's thrilled to be a part of the team and has high expectations for their success.
Well, I tell you, I'm really excited about this team of Cobras this year. We've got mostly returners from last year, about 6 new kids, and we only lost 3 seniors last year. The kids are excited. They've been out here for about 3 weeks practicing every day. They're coming together. But I think we have a real strong team. We've got some big sticks. Got a couple of really decent young pitchers, and I think that we're going to compete against anyone we play.
In the game, all eyes focused on the young sophomore pitcher Matt Baker, who was getting batters out with ease, recording an impressive 7 strikeouts and only yielding 2 earned runs. Even with a great stat sheet, Baker said little about himself and was just happy for his team's performance.
We did great. We were hitting good. Fielding was doing good till the end. And then everything was doing pretty good.
The defense did teeter off a bit in the final inning, but the Cobras got the final out and won the game 15-9. The Cobras started off the season on the right foot, and their coach believes that the Cobras team is headed for great things.
Well, I think that by the end of this baseball season, that the King Cobras are going to be the team to beat in APAC, and that's what their goal is, and they're focused on it. And I think that it's going to be a reality.
The Cobras will tangle up with the Canadian Academy second squad this weekend at Nimitz Park. Seaman Darren Russ, AFN News.
Trip includes transportation. For more information, give OREC a call at 252-3500. The E.J. King Cobras baseball team opened up the season Friday night en route to defending their Far East title. First on their schedule was the Falcons of the Canadian Academy. Here's Seaman Darren Russ with your Sasebo Sports Report.
The E.J. King Cobras started off the game right against their counterparts of the Canadian Academy, with Matt Baker taking control from the beginning. The Cobras were taking advantage of Falcon mistakes early on as Ralph Rowe Jr. legged one out here to first. He's safe, a run scores. Later it's Keith Sampson doing the same thing, legging one out. The throw to first a bit off, and Baker and Ralph Rowe come in to score as well. Baker was a force on the mound, compiling 9 strikeouts on the night as no one was catching up with his fastball. But it wasn't just his pitching, his defense was decent as well, as here on a wild pitch he takes home plate. Play at home, he's out. Nice tag out. The Eagles do not yield a run. Josh Rowe at the corner was good as well, having a few putouts and keeping the base paths free of Falcon runners. But if a runner did get on, he wasn't there for long, as catcher Ralph Rowe was nailing would-be runners with ease. He had 3 putouts on the night thanks to a shortstop Nate Ambrose applying the tag swiftly. Yeah, Ralph, that's something to smile about. And heck, even the fans were out to give him a cheer, or maybe just to get on camera, I guess. Matt Baker was nearly flawless on the night, except when it came to his base running abilities. Here he steals second without a problem. But for whatever reason, he felt that he had a good chance for third, and despite the ball being in the infield already, with the Falcons controlling it, he's pinned down. But that did allow Josh Rowe to score on the play to give the Cobras a 10-run lead. Baker didn't give up a hit or a run until the 5th inning, and it all came on this hit up the middle, and the runner coming around third and heading home represents the only earned run Baker would give up on the night. After that, Baker went back to what he does best, getting batters out with his arm. The King Cobras also managed to steal 15 bags on the night and score in every inning except the 6th, but it wasn't that necessary as the E.J. King Cobras win their first game of the season, beating the Canadian Academy Falcons 13-2. And that's your Sasebo Sports Report. I'm Seaman Darren Russ.
And that's your Sasebo Nightly News for Tuesday, September 21st. I'm Petty Officer Josh Glassburn. For all of us at AFN, have a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Be sure to bring yen for other activities at the ranch and sign up by Friday. For more information, contact Liberty. Friday night at Nimitz Park, the E.J. King Cobras baseball team took on the Canadian Academy's A team in the first of 3 games played this weekend. Here's Seaman Darren Russ with your Sasebo Sports Report.
The King Cobras found themselves down 1-0 early on, and it looked as if they were going to be held scoreless in the first when a missed sign led to Josh Rowe getting run down in a pickle. But thankfully for the Cobras, Nate Ambrose had some heads-up base running on a wild pitch, slides under the tag, and ties the game up at 1 apiece. After 2 complete games by pitchers Matt Baker and Josh Rowe last weekend, Keith Williams was looking to make it 3 in a row for the Cobras pitching staff, and he wasn't disappointing, striking out a number of batters early on and keeping focused on the task at hand.
Usually I don't do this good. I usually can't finish the whole game,
we usually finish like half. So I think I did a good job.
And Williams got some help from the defense too, namely center fielder Josh Rowe, who tracks this one down, going to the fence, making the great catch here. He wasn't done there either. Later in the inning with a runner on second, a line drive shot right to Rowe. He has presence of mind to double up the runner. He does. The Cobras get out of the inning yielding no runs. The same can't be said for the Canadian Academy though, as in the second inning, 6 runs come across, capped off by a double by David Years. 2 runs scored on the play, giving Years a 2-for-3 night, and saying it was good to have a team who can hit and score runs.
Offense really doesn't win ball games. Defense is what wins ball games. But it's nice to have people that can actually hit the ball, get runs in.
Wild pitches were killing the Canadian Academy's chances as 5 runs scored on free passes alone, moving runners into scoring position and allowing runners to score sometimes without even a throw attempt at the plate. Williams gave up 2 long shots to the Canadian Academy's Newton Crenshaw, and then a 2-run shot here to Ken Fuji in the 6th inning. The Falcons are trying to mount a comeback, but Williams did have his teammates' support and wasn't about to give up his chance for his first career complete game.
My teammates brought me up when I was down. When they hit the home runs, they brought me up, and I had enough courage to finish the whole game.
Indeed he did. Williams got help from Ambrose after a line shot went right into his glove, and fittingly the game ended with the ball going to Josh Rowe in the outfield. The E.J. King Cobras go 3-0, beating the Canadian Academy 12-6. And that's your Sasebo Sports Report. I'm Seaman Darren Ross.
And that's your Sasebo Nightly News for Tuesday, September 28th. I'm Petty Officer Josh. For more information or to register, stop by the Fleet or Hario Fitness Centers. The E.J. King Cobras and the Canadian Academy Falcons played Game 2 of their series this past weekend at Nimitz Park. The Cobras took Game 1. Can they get a streak going? Here's Seaman Darren Russ with your Sasebo Sports Report.
The Cobras look to show off their defense a little bit, and why not? They knocked around the Canadian Academy Friday night, so no worries on Saturday, right? That's why they play the game. Matt Baker was on the mound, and it looked as if things would go well, striking out the second batter of the game. But then some nice calls went the Falcons' way, like this one to Ken Fuji, who stole second base and was called safe. Oh, how I love instant replay. And actually, this wasn't arguing. I just happened to notice it as I was watching it back on the tape. But watch Nate Ambrose's foot here. He actually blocked second base, and the tag was already applied before even Ambrose touched the bag. Nonetheless, he was safe, and that led to a hit later in the inning that brought around 2 runs, and the Falcons were enjoying a 5-1 lead after 2 innings. Some luck went the Cobras' way then when Rowe looked like he would strand 2 runners on base, but then Newton Crenshaw threw it out of the range of the first baseman. That scored Years. Then Baker got in on the fun as he hits one through the hole, scoring Ralph Rowe. The Cobras are making their comeback. Matt Baker wanted to keep Fuji off the base paths this time, so he did it the old-fashioned way. He makes him sit down with the strikeout. Baker had 9 strikeouts on the day. With the Cobras down 4-8, Ralph Rowe hit a shot over the left fielder's head. That's a double, and someone needs to bring him home, right? No problem, says Matt Baker. He helps his cause, hitting a liner down left field line. Rowe comes around to score, and Baker ends up with a double himself. Next up, David Years, and he sends it over the left fielder's head. Why? Because everyone else was. Baker scores, it's 8-6. Damon Dean comes up representing the tying run, but he strikes out, making that an even 10 strikeouts for the Cobras on the day. The Falcons take Game 2 from E.J. King, winning this one 8-6. And that's your Sasebo Sports Report. I'm Seaman Darren Ross.
And that's your Sasebo Nightly News for Wednesday, September 29th. Trip includes transportation and riding fees. As always, this Liberty trip is open to all single and unaccompanied military members. For more information or to make a reservation, contact Liberty. The E.J. King Cobras baseball team took on the Canadian Academy of Kobe this past weekend in a 3-game series. With the team splitting the first 2 games, it made the rubber match all that more important. Here's Seaman Darren Russ with your Sasebo Sports Report.
In the rubber match of the Cobras and Falcons series, E.J. King relied on pitcher Josh Rowe to give them the win, and defense would play a key naturally in this one, as both catchers from both sides are keeping runners from swiping too many bags. Tied at 3-3 in the second, a hit through the middle looked like it would give the Falcons the lead, but don't test Williams' arm. They did, and the runner was out by a long shot. Keith Williams didn't just do it on defense either, as he comes through with a single in the third. 2 runs come around, it's 5-3. Damian Sealback with 2 outs comes through for the Cobras as well, hitting one through the hole to center field. The Cobras now take a 3-run lead. Josh Rowe was having 5 innings of good baseball, striking out 6 on the night and making his way to another complete game performance. But then something more painful happened along the way for the Cobras in this shot taken by the umpire here. Yeah, that'll sting, but this stings worse. The Cobras hold a 9-7 lead in the bottom of the 6th, 6 outs from taking the series, and they couldn't get an out to save their lives. Newton Crenshaw took Rowe to deep right field on this one, his 4th homer of the series. That's a 3-run shot, and the Falcons now take their first lead 10-9. And the Falcons weren't done. No, they kept on scoring. First with Baker not able to collect the ball, allowing the runner from third to score. And even when Baker did pick off the runner at third, the third baseman would help out the Falcons runner. Rowe came out of the game and was replaced with Game 1 hero Keith Williams, but even he couldn't soften the blow as Moen Kadima took 1 yard on Williams. The Falcons scored 17 runs in the 6th inning, in an inning that took over a half hour to play. The Canadian Academy take 2 out of 3 on the E.J. King Cobras in their only homestand this season, beating them in Game 3, 22-9. And that's your Sasebo Sports Report. I'm Seaman Darian Ross.
And that's your Sasebo Nightly News for Thursday, September 30th.